What's going on, guys? Today I'm going to be showing you 5 businesses you can start with under $100. Some of them are no money and the rest are very simple businesses. You don't need any skills and they're pretty easy to set up. Now, these won't make you tens of thousands a month. A couple of them can if you scale them, but these are easy ways to make a couple hundred or 1,000, 2,000, 3,000 a month, depending on how much work you want to put in and how you want to scale it. So I'm going to go over the 5, and on my favorite one, the very last one, I'm going to go in depth on how you can get started. So let's jump right into it. So the very first business is going to be Kindle Publishing, which is pretty much just selling ebooks through Amazon's own website. Kindle is through Amazon. It's Amazon's ebooks, so it doesn't really cost you much money at all up front because you don't have to ship out books, you don't have to make an order, and all you have to do is choose a niche, which does take some research and you do have to know how to do that. But you just get someone else to write the book. You can say, hey, I want a book on this topic. They'll do some research and they'll write the book for you. Normally, the books I go after, this is something I have done, it will be anywhere from 20 to 50 pages, depending. I went after kind of the self-help niche, and I would sell anywhere from 1 to 5 books a day. The profit is smaller. For a book that would sell for $4, I would get about $2.70 of that. So it is smaller, but it's not a lot of work. You don't have to do anything except contact someone on Fiverr to make your cover, $5, and someone to write your book, so about $50, and then choose the niche, and then put the book up, which obviously you have to know how to do. There's a lot of videos on that online, but it's one of the easiest ways to get into the online business, online selling type niche, and you can do it with under $100. Now, for the second business, that is going to be flipping domains. So when you buy a website, the name is for sale. A lot of them normally are $12 if you want cars.com, for example. That would be very, very expensive because a lot of people are searching that. That's getting a lot of traffic. So you can go in and you can buy a domain for maybe $20 and you can try and flip it and sell it to someone else. Now, you can start with lower amounts of money. You can start with higher. Perfect example is someone who had the website cars.com years back, sold it for over $1 million, just that domain name. Now, the reason people buy this is because all the people searching just cars on Google, that's going to be one of the first things that pops up. It's good for SEO. And this personally is not something I have done. There's a lot of information and it's a very easy way for people to get started. I've looked into it a little bit. And you can start with $14, like I was saying, and you can resell it on multiple platforms or even just flip it. So maybe you buy one for $25, you flip it and sell it to someone else for $30. It's very simple. It's just a game of reselling, but with domains. And a lot of times people will feel an attachment to the name they want. And even if it's more expensive, they'll pay that. For example, my business partner spent $6,000 on his website name because that's the one he wanted. And that was the name of his course. So it does work. There are a lot of people that do it. Is there huge money in it? Not normally. It's a little bit of work. It's a little bit riskier than, say, Kindle Publishing because you can get stuck with it. But it is a very easy way to get into online businesses. Now, business number 3 is a little bit more advanced. Not advanced, but I'd say intermediate. And that is going to be creating an agency of some type. Now, when I say agency, I'm talking about you offer services to businesses or individuals along those lines. So let's say if I had an Amazon ads agency, I would be doing other businesses' ads on Amazon and they'd pay me monthly. So I really have no upfront costs other than getting people to me. Now you can do this with a bunch of different things. I know what you're thinking. You're saying, oh, I have no skills. What do I create an agency around? Why would people want to use me? Let's say you're going to be, we'll call it a freelancer or an agency, and you're going to do graphic design. You're going to create those Kindle book covers because I'm talking about it now. More people are going to go start Kindle books. There's going to be more people wanting to get covers done. You're going to go create a Fiverr gig, or you can create a website and you can try and get free traffic through Instagram or Facebook or YouTube, however you want, and get people in there. And let's say you charge $10 per cover, $20 per cover. You can outsource it to someone else on Fiverr. They pay $5 and boom, you have a skill you're doing, but you're really just outsourcing it. And that's what a lot of the big agencies actually do. Now you can do this with anything. It could be, okay, I'm gonna run this person's Facebook ads. I'm gonna set up their website. Now I know those are direct skills you have to have or know how to do, but you can teach yourself that stuff online for free or outsource it if you don't wanna take the time to do that. So it is an easier business, and it is a little bit intermediate. However, the profits you can make on that are a lot greater, but it does involve marketing more so than like Kindle because you're using Amazon's customers. Now, fourth one, we're almost to the fifth, which is my favorite, so stick with me. But the fourth one is, again, a little bit more intermediate. It might seem like you have to have some skills, but it is paid Facebook groups. So if you're creating a Facebook group that people want to get in and it has value around it, you can charge people for it. Perfect example is I have a friend who charges $30 a month. I think he just upped it to $50 a month for a private Facebook group where he calls out stock picks. And I think he has a couple hundred people in there. So he's making a couple thousand a month from a Facebook group where he posts maybe once or twice a day and manages it. Now, I know it seems like you have to have a skill again, but you can find smaller niches where it might not really be skills as much. You could be updating people on certain news. You can make stock picks. You could be teaching. It can be a variety of different things, and there are ways to teach yourself or outsource this as well. You just need to be creative with it. This honestly is not one of my favorites because it is more intermediate or advanced, or you do need some skills. But again, you can make a lot more with this once you know how to scale it. So let's get into my favorite one, number 5. Now, we slightly touched on this, but it's gonna be reselling Fiverr gigs or services people offer, and you're just charging more and doing the marketing. Now, with Fiverr, you can resell people's gigs. So this guy will design a professional book cover for $5 if you just do the basic, which is all we need. It has 2-day delivery, unlimited revisions, and it can be used for commercial use, and a 3D image, which is all we need, so $5. And we can go and resell that on Fiverr or Upwork or freelance or anything. And we do no work. We're just putting out listings on different things. We could put it on Craigslist. We could put it on eBay, anything. And you can do this for services or anything really on Fiverr. And you just, so let's say I'm going to go buy an ebook cover from you guys. Well, I'm going to go on Upwork. I see you're charging $20, but the covers look really good right here. So I'll say, okay, I think that's worth $20. I'll pay $20, which people are paying up here. You can see 15 and 25. 2-day delivery, not bad. I'll buy 10, 15, I'd spend $20 on that for my ebook. Well, I just bought it off freelance from you. You take the order details I give you, you put it into Fiverr for this person, and boom, you just made $10, $15 in profit doing nothing but making that listing and then transferring it over here and then sending it to the customer when it's done. So this can be done with a lot of different things. There's so many different gigs on Fiverr. A lot of them are competitive. The ebook covers, graphic design stuff is more competitive. It would be more difficult. There's a lot of people that offer it. But if you go into smaller niches that maybe not as many people do, more specifics, it can be a little bit easier because you're not going to rank and compete with people on Fiverr who are up here with 100+ reviews, all 5 stars, because there's so many of them. But you can do it in smaller niches. Now, one cool thing I learned, it's a little bit more advanced, but you can use businesses' API as long as they let you, which is just pretty much their software, and charge more for it and pay for it through them. So it's almost like you're the middleman again. So a perfect example is rev.com. I use this to do my captions on my YouTube video, and I pay $1 a minute for my captions right here. And they have an API right here, which is pretty much just the software. I can plug it into my website to do this, and it just goes through them. So let's say I'm gonna charge $2 a minute for captions on a video. They deliver in 24 hours, FCC compliant. I charge $2 a minute. Okay, you buy it, let's say you did 30 minutes. So you pay me $60 and it goes straight to them. They do it and deliver it to you. I'm pretty much just the middleman. I got the customer in, they do everything, and I just made $30 profit. So I can charge whatever I want. They charge me $1 a minute, but I'm gonna charge you $2 a minute because this is actually pretty low. And perfect example of that. I could create a Facebook group around that as well. But there's so many different little ways you can make money online where you can make a couple thousand a month, or if you just need to make a couple hundred with no real skills, but you just have to think how things work. And you will learn marketing in the meantime when you're doing stuff like this, and just how the markets and different things work. And it's a great place to begin for beginners. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure you leave a like, subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you guys in the next video.
Now wake up, you got some shit to do. It's 6 a.m., I don't care, you got some shit to do. You ain't got nothing that big to lose, so get your ass to work and don't you dare hit snooze. Can't stop this